Hello, let's start our lesson. First of all, I'll do a manicure and prepare the nail plate. Don't be afraid to use cuticle remover. It doesn't cause lifting if used correctly. I apply cuticle remover to the nail, and of course, when we are working with customers, we apply the cuticle remover in a conveyor method, meaning on all 10 fingers. You need to wait just a little bit and then you can start working with the cuticle pusher. This stage is very important, so use a cuticle pusher to push the cuticle back in different directions and free the sinuses. If done improperly, it will be more difficult to proceed with the next steps. The movements should be precise and confident, which comes with practice. I recommend using metal cuticle pusher with an oval shape, as they are more effective and convenient compared to, for example, an orange stick, which doesn't push back cuticle as efficiently. Now it's time to remove the remaining remover. We do this using a tissue, but you can also use hand sanitizer wipes. Now we start manicure with drills. Here we have the main rules, and the first rule is when we are working with a natural nail, we use no more than 12,000 rotations. The next important point is that we should almost complete the manicure, meaning completely removing the cuticle. Why is that? Because the technique itself is designed to expedite the process of nail extension. So we do the manicure right away and don't return to the step. Can you rewind the video for a couple of minutes and see on the scheme and in the video itself that I'm working with a bit first in one direction, and an important point is that this needs to be done in all 10 fingers. And now I've switched to the other side and using reverse. I change the bit and pay attention. This bit works first with the tip and then with the body of the bit itself, and in this way it opens up the cuticle like a dress and after cut it. As for me, this is one of the best bit for manicure, and it's a gentle way to do a manicure. Choose manicure bits with a green, blue or red stripe. Black bit is too rough, white and yellow are too soft. In essence, the entire manicure can be done with just 3 bits. At minimum, you need to have 5 sets of bits to have time to sterilize them, but it's better to have as many sets as you have customers, clients per day, and in the evening to do all disinfection to sterilize them. Notice that I don't remove the gloss with a file or other coarse abrasive. This bit is sufficient to remove the gloss from the nail. It's mistaken belief that you need to heavily file the natural nail. On the contrary, you need to remove the first shiny layer and treat the client's nails gently. Now let's proceed to the free edge. You don't need to cut or shorten the free edge. On the contrary, the longer the free edge, the easier it will be to file inside the nail. Pay attention to the scheme. I highlighted the position of the file in red. File exactly like this and imagine that you are filing almond shape. If you don't do it this way, the natural nail will interfere with placing the form correctly. And the next step is I apply a prep dehydrator. An interesting observation: if dehydrator takes longer to evaporate compared to other clients, it means the client's nail plate is moist and it's better to apply the prep again. Now need to use a primer without acid. Acidic primers can only be used on clients with a moist nail plate. In other cases, they are not necessary. In my practice, I use only rubber base. They provide the best adhesion because they contain acid and they prevent liftings. We apply it with the rubbing motions and cure it in the lamp for 1 minute. After base polymerization, I push back the cuticle again for further design. I make the cuticle more rounded. This way I can apply and design more deeper, and it will look more beautiful. In this lesson we will do 2 designs, and for first we need this glitter. I prepared glitter and rubber base. I apply the rubber base around the cuticle And it's important not to cure it, but to stick glitter onto it. The rubber base is thick and doesn't spread. I applied only on half of the nail. Now on the wet unpolymerized base we stick glitter particles. It's also better to make the design from glitter particles round. It looks more organic. This is a quick and simple design. If you want to speed up the application process, you can apply a gel polish with a glitter. In this case, you don't need a rubber base as a glue base. I have only large dry glitter and I don't have any gel polish with large glitter particles, so I decided to use this way. Don't forget to cure in the lamp for 1 minute and then we start choosing the suitable size of the form. The most important thing to remember is that the size of the form should be slightly larger than needed because the side parallels of the form should be slightly lower than the side parallels of your nail. The nails of clients are individual and sometimes none of their size fit and form is too big. In this case you can cut it on the sides. In the video you can see that I choose a small form at its springs of the nail, but it should lay flat, because it also burns off in the lamp and that means it's very small form. Another problem if the client's nails are too large and all the forms are too small. The solution is to use the largest form and then to build up the missing parallels. In this case, you have to use dense materials such as thick gel or acrygel. Now we don't have any problems. We have good forms, good size of the form, and I decided to choose this one color of the gel. I love it very much. This is liquid self-leveling gel, and you can see that with this dual forms, you can work with any material. I guided my choice by the color only. Inside the form, we apply the gel to the required thickness. We apply thinly near the cuticle area. Thickest in the middle of the form, about 2 mm thickness, and slightly thinner towards 2/3. Look at the scheme and you can see that in the middle of the form, we will have a stress zone and it should be the thickest. Different nail types will have different stress zones, but to keep it simple, just put a little bit more gel in the middle of the form and that's all. To prevent gel from detaching from the glitter, use a sticky primer before application. I'll say right away, this lamp is not suitable for work. You need to have 2 lamps, one small one to fix the gel and the form, and a larger, more powerful to fully cure all gel. But first of all, I need to fix and I need only 10 seconds to cure it in lamp. After that, I clip a clamp onto the form and can flip the nail and clean up the material to reduce filing. Then I cure it for 1 minute. The clip will create more beautiful arch, but it's important not to over-compress and make the nail narrower, because now we are working with square shape and it have to be correct parallels too. I hope you are not tired yet, because now comes the most pleasant process. Let's enjoy the salon square. We worked with liquid gel and flipping the nail, I see that it has slightly run, so I need to add thickness to the side walls, the parallels of the nail for its strength. Now we need to cure it in the lamp and let's start our filing. But before, we need to remove the sticky layer. The entire sticky layer will be inside the nail. On the upper arch, there is no any sticky layer, only inside of the nail. The best bits for filing are one long thin carbide or ceramic one, or another one tree-shaped one. First, we file the length on all 10 nails. Look at the scheme. The file is used to file evenly and create a 90-degree angle relative to the lower parallel of the nail. Step 2 is to file exactly like the lower parallel of the nail. Please check my scheme. We have achieved a wonderful square shape and a proper arch. Near the cuticle area, I used 2 bits, starting with this white one to remove the excess material that has flowed out, working in one direction. I'm showing you, that's why I'm spending a lot of time to show you, yes. But when you are working in your salon, the bit shouldn't lift off the nail. It should glide and work quickly. Each zone is filed on all 10 nails at once, and then we move on to the next step only. If the apex turns out to be too large, you can file it down and reduce it with this bit. The inner arch can be filed using either one or the other bit, depending on how large the nail is. We proceed to nail and cuticle buffing, and I use silicone bead and cuticle oil. Please use no more than 12,000 rotation because the client's skin may heat up, which is not pleasant. The manicure after buffing becomes more high quality. That's why your customers will like this procedure, will like this buffing. Before application of the top, we need to remove oil. You can use any alcohol solution and remove all oil. To prevent lifting, I apply primer again. It will bond and remove even the smallest lifting. And finally, I apply top coat. I use a non-sticky top coat and apply it to the inner arch, then cure and apply to the top of the nail.